Building blocks of adaptive marketing ecosystems. What does it take to move beyond the rigid confines of traditional sales funnels and create marketing systems that truly resonate with today's customers? The answer lies in understanding and assembling the fundamental building blocks of adaptive marketing ecosystems, dynamic, interconnected frameworks that blend content, community, and commerce into a cohesive experience. This chapter unpacks these essential components, offering a roadmap for marketers who want to evolve from one-dimensional campaigns to multi-channel engagement models that respond fluidly to customer needs. At its core, an adaptive marketing ecosystem is not just about layering tactics, but about integrating them so they work together seamlessly. Content becomes more than just information. It transforms into a catalyst for conversation and connection. Communities shift from passive audiences to active participants who shape brand narratives. Commerce moves beyond transactions to become part of an ongoing relationship where value is continuously exchanged. By breaking down these elements into their foundational components, this chapter reveals how each contributes uniquely and synergistically to the development of resilient marketing structures. The challenge many organizations face is that traditional funnels treat customers as linear prospects moving through fixed stages: awareness, consideration, purchase, with little room for nuance or evolution. Adaptive ecosystems reject this limitation by embracing complexity and continuous interaction. Here, customer journeys are non-linear, shaped by feedback loops that span multiple channels and touchpoints. This approach demands new ways of thinking about audience segmentation, content creation, community engagement, and commerce integration, all of which are explored in detail throughout the chapter. Real-world case studies illustrate how companies have successfully implemented these building blocks to foster deeper connections and sustained growth. From leveraging user-generated content within vibrant online communities to creating personalized commerce experiences informed by real-time data insights, these examples demonstrate practical applications of adaptive marketing principles. Readers will find actionable guidance on designing their ecosystems tailored to specific business goals and customer behaviors. Ultimately, mastering the building blocks of adaptive marketing ecosystems enables marketers to thrive in an ever-evolving market landscape. It encourages a mindset shift, from controlling customer paths to facilitating meaningful interactions, and provides strategic frameworks alongside tactical recommendations for implementation. As readers progress through this chapter, they will gain clarity on how integrated content strategies, engaged communities, and seamless commerce functions converge to create powerful engines for growth beyond the funnel's limitations. Building community for genuine customer connections and trust. A common misconception about community building in marketing is that it simply means amassing large numbers of followers or subscribers. While scale can be valuable, the true power of a community lies not in its size, but in the quality and authenticity of the connections formed. Brands that focus solely on growing their audience often overlook the deeper work required to foster genuine relationships and trust, elements essential for long-term loyalty and advocacy. Building community is about creating spaces where customers feel seen, heard, and valued beyond transactional interactions. It requires a commitment to ongoing dialogue rather than one-way broadcasting. This involves listening attentively to customer feedback, encouraging peer-to-peer engagement, and offering meaningful opportunities for participation that align with shared values and interests. When done effectively, these efforts transform passive consumers into active contributors who shape brand narratives organically. Consider how leading brands have shifted from treating the community as a marketing channel to viewing it as an adaptive ecosystem integral to their business model. For example, Patagonia's approach goes beyond selling outdoor gear. They cultivate an environmental stewardship community by supporting activism and sharing user stories. This strategy deepens emotional connections while reinforcing the company's mission-driven identity, a dynamic far richer than traditional funnel tactics could achieve. In practice, building such communities demands patience and consistency over quick wins. Marketers must invest in platforms that facilitate meaningful exchanges, whether through branded forums, social media groups, or live events, and empower internal teams with tools and processes designed for real-time responsiveness. The goal is not just audience growth, but to evolve a network where members actively contribute ideas, solve problems collaboratively, and advocate for the brand authentically. Moreover, trust emerges naturally when brands demonstrate transparency and reliability within these communities. Sharing behind-the-scenes content or admitting mistakes openly humanizes organizations, inviting empathy instead of skepticism. Trust also flourishes when companies reward loyalty thoughtfully, not merely through discounts, but via exclusive experiences or recognition that resonate personally with members. Ultimately, integrating community building into adaptive marketing ecosystems transforms how businesses relate to customers, from isolated transactions toward enduring partnerships fueled by mutual respect and shared purpose. This shift enables brands not only to respond more fluidly to changing preferences, but also to co-create value alongside their audiences, laying the foundations for sustainable growth that extends well beyond what linear sales funnels can offer. Making commerce a natural extension of engagement. A common misconception in marketing is that commerce must always follow engagement as a distinct transactional phase, a separate destination after customers have been warmed up through content and community. This traditional view envisions commerce as the end goal of a linear journey. First attract attention, then build trust, and finally convert with a sales pitch. However, adaptive marketing ecosystems challenge this notion by making commerce a seamless extension of ongoing engagement rather than a hard stop or isolated event. In an interconnected ecosystem, commerce is seamlessly integrated into the customer experience. Instead of waiting for a perfect moment to push for purchase, brands embed opportunities to buy within conversations, content interactions, and community exchanges. This approach recognizes that modern buyers don't move in straight lines. They engage intermittently across channels and touchpoints. When commerce feels natural, aligned with what customers are already doing or seeking, it reduces friction and enhances the overall relationship. Take Patagonia's approach as an example. Their commitment to environmental activism is central to their content and community initiatives. Commerce isn't just about selling gear, it's about inviting customers to join a movement while offering products that reflect shared values and ideals. When someone reads an article on sustainable practices or participates in a local cleanup event promoted by Patagonia's community platform, the option to explore relevant merchandise is available without interrupting the flow. Here, purchasing becomes part of the ongoing dialogue rather than an isolated ask. Making commerce a natural extension also means adapting offers based on real-time signals from customer interactions, not simply pushing static promotions. Data-driven personalization enables marketers to surface products or services that align contextually with where customers are in their journey or what they're expressing interest in at that moment. For instance, after engaging with educational content about home fitness routines on a brand's app or forum, users might see curated equipment suggestions integrated subtly within those experiences, rather than being abruptly redirected to an online store. Ultimately, this shift requires marketers to rethink success metrics beyond immediate conversions alone. The goal is to cultivate continuous value exchange, where each interaction builds affinity and trust, while gently guiding toward commercial outcomes over time. By dissolving rigid boundaries between engagement and transaction phases, brands create fluid ecosystems that evolve in tandem with customer preferences, rather than forcing them into predefined paths. In practice, integrating commerce naturally demands cross-functional collaboration between content creators, community managers, data analysts, and e-commerce teams to ensure consistent messaging and user experience across all touchpoints. It also calls for technology platforms capable of supporting dynamic content delivery tied directly to transactional capabilities without disrupting user flow. By embracing this mindset, viewing commerce not as an endpoint but as part of ongoing engagement, brands unlock new opportunities for sustained growth rooted in genuine relationships rather than fleeting conversions alone. Adaptive marketing ecosystems thrive when every interaction can subtly reinforce brand value while remaining open-ended enough for customers to engage on their terms and at their own pace, with commerce simply becoming one facet of that richer dialogue. Creating fluid experiences through interconnected ecosystem elements. In traditional marketing, each channel often operates in isolation, Content is crafted, communities are managed, and commerce is handled as separate silos. This fragmentation creates disjointed customer experiences that feel transactional rather than relational. Adaptive marketing ecosystems flip this model by weaving content, community, and commerce into a single fabric where each element dynamically informs and enhances the others. The result is a fluid experience that meets customers wherever they are on their journey, not just at predetermined stages of the funnel. Consider the case of a mid-sized outdoor gear brand that transitioned from running isolated email campaigns and social media posts to an interconnected ecosystem approach. They developed educational content about sustainable practices, which sparked conversations within their online community forums. These dialogues fed back into product development and tailored offers shared via e-commerce channels, all seamlessly linked through personalized digital touchpoints. Customers didn't just receive promotions, they engaged in ongoing narratives aligned with their values, thereby deepening loyalty and driving repeat sales without overt sales tactics. The core of creating fluid experiences lies in breaking down barriers between data streams and communication flows. When content consumption patterns inform community topics, and when those interactions shape commerce incentives or product launches, the ecosystem breathes as one organism. For example, analyzing forum discussions around pain points can reveal opportunities for new content formats or highlight demand signals before competitors catch on. Marketers who integrate these insights across departments avoid wasted effort on disconnected campaigns while nurturing richer relationships grounded in relevance. Fluidity also means flexibility. Ecosystem elements must adapt to evolving audience behaviors without losing coherence. A retailer noticing a rising interest in live video tutorials can embed those sessions within its branded community spaces, linking viewers directly to curated shopping lists that reflect demonstrated preferences. This approach maintains momentum by continuously adding value instead of pushing static messaging that customers tend to tune out. It transforms engagement into dialogue rather than a monologue. This interconnectedness extends beyond technology to organizational mindset and structure. Teams that traditionally focus on content creation must collaborate closely with community managers who understand customer sentiment firsthand, and both groups need access to commerce analytics that highlight conversion trends tied back to engagement efforts. Establishing shared goals, supported by transparent metrics, encourages agile decision-making, where strategies evolve based on real-time feedback loops rather than rigid quarterly plans. Ultimately, adaptive marketing ecosystems empower brands to meet customers as whole people, not fragmented personas confined within linear funnels. By designing experiences where content inspires conversation that drives commerce naturally and responsively, businesses create durable connections capable of thriving amid shifting preferences and competitive pressures alike. This fluid interplay among ecosystem elements unlocks growth potential unreachable through isolated tactics, a lesson increasingly embraced by forward-thinking organizations ready to move beyond outdated funnel mentalities toward truly integrated customer journeys. Leveraging feedback loops to evolve. Adaptive marketing strategies. A common misconception about feedback loops in marketing is that they serve merely as post-campaign evaluation tools, occasional checkpoints to measure success or failure. In reality, feedback loops are the engine driving continuous adaptation and evolution within adaptive marketing ecosystems. When leveraged effectively, these loops transform static strategies into dynamic frameworks that respond to customer behaviors, preferences, and market shifts in real time. At their core, feedback loops involve capturing real-time data from multiple touchpoints: social media interactions, website analytics, customer support conversations, and sales performance, and using this information to refine messaging, offers, and engagement tactics. This process creates a cyclical pattern. Marketing activities generate responses, those responses provide insights, insights inform adjustments, and adjusted strategies produce new outcomes. This cycle ensures marketing remains relevant rather than reactive. One practical example comes from an e-commerce brand that integrated customer reviews directly into its product development pipeline. Instead of waiting for quarterly reports to adjust offerings, the company continuously monitored sentiment trends through automated tools. Early detection of dissatisfaction with a particular feature led to swift modifications, which were communicated through personalized content campaigns. The result was not only improved products but heightened customer trust, a direct outcome of embedding feedback loops into everyday operations. Another critical aspect often overlooked is the human element within feedback mechanisms. While data points provide quantitative signals, qualitative insights gathered from community forums or direct customer dialogues reveal emotional drivers behind behaviors. These nuanced understandings empower marketers to craft messages that resonate more deeply and foster authentic relationships rather than superficial transactions. To operationalize feedback loops successfully requires intentional design, clear metrics aligned with strategic goals, technology infrastructure capable of aggregating diverse data streams in near real time, and cross-functional teams empowered to act on findings without bureaucratic delays. When organizations build these capabilities into their adaptive marketing ecosystems, they create an environment where learning is continuous and growth becomes sustainable. In sum, moving beyond the misconception that feedback loops are after-the-fact assessments opens the door to viewing them as vital instruments for ongoing strategy evolution. By embracing iterative learning cycles fueled by both quantitative data and qualitative insights, businesses can stay ahead of shifting audience expectations, transforming their marketing efforts from rigid funnels into fluid ecosystems that are attuned to change.